Hello, hello, and welcome to today's trending contract, Kill Order 2-15-708-7794-39, set on the author map of Sapienza and supplied to us today by Riley's Girl 23. So with no briefing, we'll move on to our targets, and today we have 5 of them and a free map. So for today's challenge, we'll be starting at the default location, and we'll be bringing with us a empty briefcase, a lockpick, and a silenced pistol. So, right from the start and off the bat, we are going to make our way straight into the sewers, and we are going to deal with our first target, who is the super fan, and we are also the super fan, and there can be only one. So we're going to grab the brick along the corridor here, and when the original super fan comes along into the corridor, we're going to throw the brick further down said corridor, and that will get his attention. And when he comes along to investigate, we will put a bullet in his head. As I mentioned, there can be only one. So down he goes, and he shrugged that off quite easily. So target 1 has been dealt with, and you can see we are trespassing. So if we deposit the super fan in the dumpster provided and then take his outfit, we are no longer trespassing, and we can pass straight through the crypt and most of the church unmolested, which is useful. So we're going to make our way straight into the crypt. We're going to grab a propane cylinder from one of the sarcophagi, and we're going to head up to the ground floor where the book reading is taking place. Again, we have no enforcers to worry about. We're not trespassing anywhere in the building. We're going to place our propane cylinder just by the outer circle line you can see on the floor there, and we'll come back to that later on. While we're here, we're just going to lockpick our way through this door, as that will come in handy later. And then we're going to move on to our next target, who is a bodyguard located up in the bell tower. So we're going to run all the way up the stairs. Once we're past the 2 guards on the choir balcony, we can pull out our silenced pistol. When we get near the top, we're going to crouch down, as our target may be able to see us whilst playing with his phone. And once he presents himself, we are going to shoot him in the head very quickly. We're going to take his outfit, as this will get us around a little bit easier, although there will be enforcers available to us now. We're going to head all the way back down to the ground floor and out into the graveyard, which is the only place the super fan is not allowed. We're going to hop into the graveyard shed, where we will find 3 propane cylinders. We're going to put 1 in our briefcase and then grab a spare. We're going to make our way out of the shed, and before we move on, there is one of our targets, Mr. Craig Black, along with his enforcer bodyguard. There will also be 2 other patrolling enforcer guards heading this way. You can just see them now. And we're going to wait for all of them to move away before we make our way down to the far end of the graveyard. There is another enforcer down there, but we should be able to avoid him rather easily if we stay crouched. So we're going to throw our propane cylinders just at the crossroads of the pathway there, and retrieve the second one and throw that over as well. We're also going to try and lure away the Enforcer bodyguard, although he is investigating the propane cylinders. And the reason is I really want to just place one of the propane cylinders at the very least to make sure we get maximum effect. So we're going to head back to the shed where there is a third propane cylinder waiting for us, and when we get back outside we're just going to make sure no one is looking. Unfortunately, the non-enforcer guard has picked up the briefcase, so we are going to have to just throw our propane cylinders from here on out. They are all heading a little bit too far to the left for my liking. So we have 2 more propane cylinders down in the crypt, so we're going to go and retrieve both of them as well. As we have a free map, we may as well utilize it to its fullest. So that will be 5 propane cylinders, all located at the meeting point of our 2 primary targets. So once they're all in place, we're going to make our way back up to the bell tower, and once we're up here we can call our 2 primary targets to their meeting a little early. Turns out you can't shoot the clanger, you have to shoot the bell, and that will call both of our targets into the meeting where they're going to exchange the DNA virus, and all we have to do is wait for them to arrive. And when they do, we can put 1 bullet into any of the propane cylinders and give both of our targets a free flying lesson. And we almost sent Mr. Black across the ocean. So 4 targets down with 1 more to go. We are going to descend from the bell tower one last time and then make our way out into the book reading area. But before we do, we are going to wait as Brother Akram's bodyguards will pass through this area, and as you can see, one of them is an enforcer. So we're going to let them get a nice safe distance. Then we're going to position ourselves at the door that they have just passed through, and we are going to detonate the final propane cylinder. I'm just making sure the church worker isn't around, and we will detonate the cylinder, which will just about be in range to eliminate our final target. We're then going to hide in the box provided, as the area is about to be swarming with enforcers. Once they all calm down and go back to their routines, we are going to make good our escape, and utilizing the sewers, as there is an enforcer on the crypt door, we can then head out and off to the awaiting speedboat. So there we go, 1 more trending contract taken care of, and that was rather a lot of fun, sending both of our targets flying off into the ocean. We have confirmation all of our targets were eliminated according to plan. We had no objectives to worry about, and we get our Silent Assassin rating. I have been Anubis, and I will see you all in the next video.